Modern technologies create opportunities for any state to switch to renewable resources of cheap energy from water, wind, or the sun. But for this to happen, of course, efforts must be made and several large-scale reforms and projects implemented, as was done, for instance, in Morocco. How did this country manage to build the largest concentrated solar power plant that generates electricity even at night? And what has enabled Morocco, which has meager oil and gas reserves, to become the largest energy importer in the Middle East and North Africa? Check out our video. Morocco is the only country in North Africa that does not have its own fossil fuel reserves and imports more than 90% of its energy resources. Attempts to develop the industry led to electricity consumption increasing by 5.6% per year, and there is nowhere to take it within the country. The government spends billions of dollars importing fuel. To rid the state of energy dependence, King Mohammed VI set a goal to generate 52% of electricity needs using green energy by 2030. But how will it be achieved? Hydro resources in Morocco are bad. Most of the rivers dry up, and reservoirs built in the 1960s provide the population with drinking water, but their energy source is limited. In 2008, the authorities adopted the New Energy Strategy. According to it, the sun and wind are the most important types of energy to use. It is logical for a country where the number of sunny days per year is over 300. As part of the strategy, the Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy, the Moroccan Agency for Solar Energy, as well as several research organizations and investment funds specializing in green energy were created. The Noor Ouarzazate solar power plant was the first solar project developed under Morocco's New Energy Strategy. Ouarzazate is a city located in the Moroccan desert. It's famous because popular films as well as TV shows were filmed here. Lawrence of Arabia, The Mummy, Game of Thrones. But now the name of the city is associated not with the cinema, but with the world's largest Ouarzazate concentrated solar power station. It is located in the Atlas Mountains in the western part of the Sahara Desert, 20 kilometers from the provincial capital of Massa Dra Ouarzazate. This location was chosen because the level of annual solar radiation here is 2,635 kilowatt-hours per square meter. This is one of the highest rates in the world. The sun shines here, with rare exceptions, 365 days a year. Spread out over 3,000 hectares, the equivalent of 3,500 football fields, the solar complex consists of 4 separate solar power plants, each using different technologies. Noor Ouarzazate 1 and 2 cylindrical parabolic mirror, Noor Ouarzazate 3 solar power tower, Noor Ouarzazate 4 photovoltaic plant. The construction of the first section began in 2013, and work on the last section was completed in 2018. The power plant is based on the technology of concentrated solar energy. The system uses a large array of mirrors or heliostats to concentrate the sun's rays. These beams heat a fluid that creates steam to drive a turbine and generate electricity. In some sections of the station, water is also used as a coolant. In total, its consumption is up to 3 million cubic meters per year. The complex is complemented by molten salt tanks that can store heat, allowing electricity to be generated after sunset. To keep the temperature of the salt mixture above 110 degrees Celsius and the temperature of the synthetic oil used as a heat carrier above 8 degrees Celsius, 19 tons of diesel fuel are needed per day. However, each section of the power plant has its characteristics of functioning. The first phase of the complex, Noor Ouarzazate I, was inaugurated by King Mohammed VI in 2016. The first stage of the solar power plant includes 480 hectares of center trough cylindrical parabolic mirrors. The installed capacity is 160 megawatt. The facility provides storage of electrical energy in a salt reservoir for 3 hours. The second phase of Ouarzazate covers an area of 600 hectares. Its installed capacity is 200 megawatt. It uses solar energy concentration with dry, air-cooled parabolic mirrors without water. The system saves electricity for 7 to 8 hours. Noor Ouarzazate 3, put into operation in 2018, was the first power plant in Morocco to use dry cooling solar tower technology. Instead of rows of mirrors, this line collects solar energy with the help of one large tower 243 meters high, pluralistically the highest in Africa. In this way, significant space savings can be achieved. The system uses 7,400 Centers HE54 heliostats or mirrors, each with an effective area of 178.5 square meters, and equipped with a high-precision hydraulically driven solar tracking system. The mirrors turn to follow the sun and direct its light to a tower receiver mounted on the top of the structure. The tower is filled with a salt mixture which is heated by the sun's rays to 565 degrees Celsius. This is higher than when using mirror fields, so the station does not require the use of fuel to maintain the temperature of the salt mixture. The hot salt drains into a stainless steel tank after passing through a heat exchanger to heat water and generate steam to power a turbo generator. The capacity of the tank allows accumulating enough molten salt to guarantee the supply of electricity up to 7 hours after sunset. The facility covers an area of 582 hectares, and its installed capacity is 150 megawatt. Annual electricity generation is 500 gigawatt hours. The price of energy produced is 14 cents per kilowatt hour. Once operational, the station generates enough green energy to power 120,000 homes. Noor Ouarzazate III's investors are the Clean Technology Fund, KfW, the African Development Bank, the French Development Agency, the World Bank, and the European Investment Bank. The cost of the project is about $700,000. A solar power plant that produces electricity even at night. What could be more amazing? Note that the fourth and last station of the solar power plant complex, with a capacity of 72 megawatt and an area of 137 hectares that has an installed capacity of 72 megawatt, is also a technological novelty. Here, for the first time, hybrid photovoltaic technology has been applied, which combines traditional photovoltaic cells used on solar panels that are familiar to us with concentrated solar energy systems, which are used at 3 other Noor Ouarzazate stations. Thanks to all of this, the Noor Ouarzazate complex is rightfully considered the largest multi-tech solar energy production site in the world, with a capacity of 580 megawatt and a total investment of more than 24 billion dirhams, about $2.5 billion. Everyone can enjoy the futuristic views of power plants, since in addition to infrastructure, it is also a tourist site. The complex houses a 16-hectare themed tourist park with a design inspired by the map of Morocco, as well as auditoria halls, a media library, and a tower with panoramic views. But this is definitely not the main thing. In 2020, 37% of Morocco's electricity came from renewable sources. The country has received high marks from the European Union and world organizations for its efforts in the fight against global warming. Moreover, since the Ouarzazate solar power station annually produces carbon-free energy equivalent to 2.5 million tons of imported oil, Morocco has huge potential for exporting green energy to neighboring countries, and it has already begun to implement some large-scale projects. Therefore, it is clear that in the coming years, the Noor Ouarzazate SPS will contribute to the weakening of the energy dependence of Morocco and will have a positive impact on the local economy.